Hello learners, so in this unit we have seen different acts and regulation inside territory and outside Indian territory. We will now look into some of the case studies regarding those acts and regulations. Those case studies are divided either food related regulations, agricultural product regulations, international regulations and farmer and breeders regulations. Let us begin with the first case study about Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, a case study of mustard oil adulteration. In several Indian states, the mustard oil was adulterated with argemone oil. The argemone oil will not have any benefits about the mustard oil, but because of the commercial benefits, they do adulterate with the mustard oil because of the similarity in their texture and appearance. A consumption of such adulterated oil cause epidemic dropsy, severe swelling and heart complications. The authorities took action under the Prevention of Adulteration Act, which strengthened the food testing and later lead to strict food safety regulations under the FSSAI. Another case study is of a milk adulteration scandal. In many cities, the milk was found to be adulterated or diluted. It is generally diluted by the raw water. Sometimes they also use a solution which looks similar like a milk with using chemicals like detergent or urea. A legal action was taken under the Act before it was replaced by the Food and Safety Standard Act 2006. In this case, many places were inspected and was given us seizing orders by the authorities. A need for strong surveillance and food quality monitoring was outcome of this case study. Next is a fruit product order. A case study is about the substandard mango pulp manufacturing. A mango pulp of a seasonal product which only comes into the season between March to June. There are few varieties of mango which are also available up to the August. But to gain the benefit, many times such mango pulp they adulterate with the other fruit varieties, and that will decrease the quality and also decrease the market value of such product. The license of such manufacturer was suspended by the Act. The impact of this was ensured proper labeling and minimum fruit content in jam and juices. Another case study is about the ketchup labeling violation. A company labeled tomato sauce as a pure but use artificial additives beyond the limit. If any manufacturer is using non-natural resources for preparation of a food product and labeling it in a false claim, then such practices come under the violation. The Act made it obligation to the manufacturer that they should remove such claim of pure product and should maintain in the labeling condition their additives what they have used. The action of misbranding was categorized under the food product order. Meat product order, illegal slaughterhouse closures. We already have discussed how these slaughterhouses have got the quality down for such meat product. They were not having a proper sanitation and hygienic condition. Because of that, many of the diseases arise by using such meat products. Apart from that, these illegal slaughterhouses will not have any control over the use of animals for slaughtering purpose. Some of those animals are seriously ill or carrying infections, and that get spill over by using such product. Hence, the act was enforced so that it will get a good quality product at the end. An unlicensed meat processing unit was found operating without hygienic standards, and those units got closed down under this act. The outcome of this is emphasis on sanitation and veterinary inspection made mandatory for such slaughterhouses. Another case study is about export rejection of meat consignment. After maintaining the guidelines, still some of the consignment are got rejected outside the Indian territory. It is just because of not up to the standards. The Indian meat export rejected due to the poor hygienic processing. The post incidence strict compliance with MPO guidelines implemented, and every product which is sent outside the Indian territory was evaluated and assessed as per the guidelines put up by the country laws. They also have harmonized those parameters for sending such meat product outside the Indian territory. Food Safety Standard Act 2006. It is a very unique case study about the Maggi noodle ban in 2015. The Nestle India product showed excess lead content and MSG content, which is a analog of glycolic acid, beyond permissible limit. Authority action includes FSSAI banned Maggi noodles across the Indian territory. They also enforced the Nestle to procure back all the consignments which are already being delivered to the different locations. After that, all those consignments they have analyzed, assessed, and based on that the action was taken. The FSSAI ordered national wise testing, and Maggi was banned for several months as a penalty. The product were recalled and destroyed under the observation of authority. The impact of this was the huge financial loss to the company that set up an example for all other manufacturers. So, they should have a proper specification and then assessment evaluation parameters for such product, increase the awareness about the packaged food safety. It also strengthened the enforcement of a Food and Safety Standard Act. The biggest learning from this is the Food Standard and Safety Act ensures consumer protection and strict quality standards. Agmark standards. Adulterated turmeric case. The turmeric mixture with a synthetic color is very common practices. The yellow red color dyes used to mix in the turmeric powder to get a proper coloration at the application level. Many times this will boost the commercial value of the product, but at the same time it will have the hazard related to that. These chemical dyes may have a toxic effect. The turmeric will have a household use from infants up to the adults. The consumption in infants will be have the severe implications if the turmeric is adulterated one. The dyes which are used will have a toxic level higher than to the used in adults for the infants. Because of that, many cases were showed a poisoning due to such adulterated turmeric powder. The Agmark grading test was established for such products, and they have also established the parameter for grading such turmeric brands. The Agmark certification was denied for all those brands which are fall into the testing specification. Another case study is of a low grade honey sold as a premium. One of the major industry who produce honey was got a penalty because of this case. The honey batch was failed on the purity testing which was put up by the Agmark certification. The parameters for testing was put up by the Agmark certification was done on a different batches of a same manufacturer and found to be beyond the specification limits. The downgraded from Agmark grade A to lower category was a punishment to the such producers. Because of that, their market share went down and they got a huge penalty on the commercial level. Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act 1994 USA. The ephedra supplement ban. It is the one of a good example about the use of a adulterated and spurious drug in outside Indian territory for nutraceutical supplement. The weight loss supplements containing ephedra cause heart attack. Ephedra is known for its activity, which is linked by the increase into the heart rate, but without understanding its consequences, the ephedra was used into the nutraceutical product without putting a proper specification. Hence, the patients or the consumers who consume such product was expressed the heart complications. Later on, it was found that it is because of the ephedra which was added in the product. The specification was not met as per the laws. Hence, the action was taken onto the such products. After the death reported in USA, the FDA banned such product from 2004 onwards and they made a mandatory disclosure of ephedra or any such product in the nutraceutical and dietary supplement thereafter. Case study about the false claim on a herbal supplement. Many of the herbal supplement put up a very lucrative claims for getting the benefit in the market. Such claim includes the fairness claim, weight loss claim and hair growth claim. Several companies marketed supplements claiming to cure some diseases which are not curable. All such claims will not be hereafter considered if they are related to the dietary supplement. That was put up by the Act. The FDA issued warning letters for misleading consumers and asked them to replace those claims from their labeling. ESCOP, that is a European Scientific Cooperative on Phytotherapy. The standardized St. John wort. The St. John wort is denoted with its neurological activity. The ESCOP's monograph evaluated safety and efficacy of the herbal medicine. When such monograph was developed for St. John wort, it helped to regulate the use of a Hypericum perforatum, which is a biological source for St. John wort for mild depression. The case study includes the quality control in herbal medicine and they have developed the parameters to evaluate and quantify the St. John wort in different formulations. St. John wort was the one of the major component of a natural herbal tea and it was found that the particular level of the St. John wort can cause even a toxicity. The ESCOP recommendation led to standardized dosage and safety guideline across Europe for St. John wort. Another case study from EMEA shows the herbal medicine registration. The EMEA Committee on Herbal Medicinal Product evaluated traditional herbal medicines, ensures safety quality before it enters into the European Union market for approval. Now, example here is a kava, that is a Piper methysticum. The Piper methysticum was registered under the EMEA as a herbal medicine. EMEA reviewed safety concern about the Piper methysticum due to liver toxicity reports. When they have developed the guidelines for use of this into the different formulation. Because of they have reported this liver toxicity, the use of kava later on in a formulation was restricted up till they get a proper confirmation from the authority. That gave a very wrong signal to the market, and because of that the propagation of a kava was decreased. Plant Breeders' Right and Biodiversity Act. The first case study is of Bt cotton. Bt means Bacillus thuringienum cotton. This bacillus used as a vector to deliver particular gene inside the plant that gave a good insect repellent property to the plant. Because of that the yield of a crop was increased, but at the same time this crop also got other properties. Hence, the company or the manufacturer have protected their seeds for further propagation. Introduction of a Bt cotton under plant variety protection that protected rights of a developer, that is a Monsanto, now known as a Bayer, and farmer gained access to the improved pest resistant seeds. These seeds they have used for the further propagation. Case study about the basmati rice biopiracy. The US company Rice Inc. got a patent about the basmati rice. They have developed a new propagation method for propagating crops of a basmati rice, and they have labeled it with a new genetic variety. But the basmati rice quality is as similar as it is being used inside the Indian territory. What they have understood that as per the patent, the Indian farmers cannot send their consignment of a basmati rice in US territory because of the patent violation. The US company attempted patent, later on revoked due to the intervention by Indian authority. India challenged through Biodiversity Protection Act this patent. They showed a proof that this rice is as similar as basmati rice, which is being propagated in Indian territory for more than a century. It also proved that the genetic notation of a basmati rice was matching with the genetically developed rice by the US corporation. Because of this case, the patent was revoked for other countries and only applicable for the US territory. The third case study about the benefit sharing under the Biodiversity Act. The company using medicinal plants required to share benefits with the local communities under the India's Biological Diversity Act as per the 2002. Because of this, many of the small scale producers got benefited commercially, and they have got a sharing in the name of a monetary and non-monetary credits. Biological Diversity Act 2002. The unique case study is about the PepsiCo versus Gujarat farmer. The PepsiCo developed a particular genetically evolved variety of a potato for production of their chips, and that variety they have produced inside the India. Later on, they understood that the Gujarat farmer also using a same variety for the production. So, PepsiCo sued farmer for growing a registered potato variety which is a FL 2027. Farmer claimed that under the traditional agriculture right, he can produce the variety, because the variety what they have concern about was the known variety. Involved Plant Variety Protection and Biodiversity Act, which gave the farmer right. The case withdrawn after the public backlash and highlighted conflict between the corporate IP rights and the farmer rights. Indian government gave the right to the farmer that they can still propagate that particular variety. Only thing that variety should not be identical to the labeled one. The learning from it is Biodiversity Act protects the traditional knowledge and farmer rights. So, with this example, we can see that the PepsiCo have labeled the variety along with the propagation method, and they have restricted farmer to do the propagation. But as per the act, the propagation method is of a traditional method and cannot be put under any registration. And when that propagation come under the Biodiversity Act, it the right given to the farmers and not to the corporate IP generator. Another case is about the Dietary and Jivani drugs. The Jivani drugs is a manufacturer who manufactured a particular formulation using a localized herbal medicine. The Tropical Botanical Garden and Research Institute was involved in this case. A scientist used tribal knowledge about a medicinal plant known as Arogya Pacha and developed a drug Jivani without giving any benefit to the tribal that marketed into the commercial use. Later on, after the intervention from the authorities, the benefit sharing agreement was signed between the tribal and the manufacturer. The part of the profit shared with the Kani tribes for maintaining that resource till now. The learning from this is Biodiversity Act promotes the fair benefit sharing and protects traditional knowledge. Thank you.